my dear students. This is Kiran Kumar Vilmula, Assistant Professor of Physics, Sri Rajarajeshwara Degree College, Karimnagar. Today we are discussing about solar constants. So, before discussing that one, Sun is a natural source. The thermal radiation energy is coming from the Sun in the process of thermal radiation. Already in the previous class we discussed about thermal radiation. Thermal radiation is the process in which there is no involvement of any medium in transportation of thermal energy is known as thermal radiation. So, the thermal radiation which is coming from the Sun is maximum, but when it is passing from Sun to the Earth, there is so many disturbances like clouds, air, atmosphere, etc., etc. So, we are not getting the total thermal radiation emitted by the Sun, but from 20% to 30% of the thermal radiation is observed by the Earth due to different obstacles located in the atmosphere. That's why we have to calculate the solar constant. Now in this topic we are discussing solar constant and the measurement of solar constant by using pyroheliometer. Before discussing this topic, we must know what is solar constant. Solar constant is defined as the amount of solar energy received per minute from the Sun by unit area of perfect black body surface held perpendicular to the rays of the Sun, the absence of atmosphere and placed at a mean distance of the Earth from the Sun. When the thermal radiation is inciding on the surface of the black body per a minute time, we are considering the area of the particular surface when the atmosphere is absent. So this is the method to calculate, and we are assuming thermal radiation amount by absence of atmosphere. So this is the definition. Already we defined it, and later classes we discussed very clearly it. Next, pyroheliometers. In the previous classes we discussed about pyrometers. Pyrometer are the devices which can measure high heat energy of thermal radiation bodies, but here the pyrometer is not sufficient to measure the temperature of the radiation of the Sun, or it is not suitable to measure the solar constant of the Sun. For that purpose, we are taking different device which has more efficient, more range, calibration range. So, instruments. In this experiment we are using angstrom pyroheliometer. This was constructed by Angstrom, so therefore that pyroheliometer is known as Angstrom pyroheliometer. The pyroheliometer is the device which is used to measure the solar constant. So now if you take, this is the schematic diagram of pyroheliometer. This is constructed by Angstrom, therefore this is known as Angstrom pyroheliometer. So this is the construction part of pyroheliometer. if you come to the construction part and working principle of the angstrom pyroheliometer, this angstrom pyroheliometer consists of S1 and S2 strips. These two are made up of either platinum or constantan material. So this is S1 and this is S2. S1 is exactly opposite to the thermal radiation directly. The surface of the S1 is ready to absorb the total radiation which is incidenting on the surface from the sun. But the second strip S2 is adjusted with a shielding end here. This end is double-walled coated shielding. So this S1 and S2 are combined with the thermocouple. So in this diagram, this represents a thermocouple. Thermocouple consists of two different materials, platinum and constantan metals are used. This is the first junction and this is the second junction. So these two different metals are connected with a galvanometer in series to measure the deflection. So the S1 and S2 strip is connected to electrical circuit with the help of voltage, ammeter, rheostat, battery in series connection. That means S1 is directly observing the thermal radiation energy from the sun, but S2 is practically heated with the help of this electrical circuit by changing the potential. That means by using electrical method we are heating the strip S2. So here this is the construction part. If you come to working part, so the thermal radiation from the sun is incidenting on the surface of the S1 directly. And in this case, the two strips are at different temperatures. So initially both are cool or both are at same temperature. There is no deflection of the needle in the galvanometer. When thermal radiation is incidenting on the surface of S1 plate, and S1 is at greater energy and S2 is maintained at cold temperature, therefore the temperature difference is created. Due to this, the thermal galvanometer differs from its initial position. It deflects towards right side initially, then we are switching the electrical circuit. When the battery is on, we are changing the potential of the rheostat, then the potential difference is varying, so the electrical current is passing through the circuit. So the voltage is varying in the voltmeter, that the electrical current is supplied to S2. This electrical energy converts into heat energy and S2 will be heated. Then there is a variation between S1 and S2. The current is supplied to S2 till the heat energy is same in S1 as well as S2. Therefore, the temperature of S2 is same, then the deflection is stopped in the galvanometer. So from that we are calculating the value of S, and the practical is repeated for the total year from sun, and the average value will be taken as the solar constant. For that purpose we have one formula, that is V. If you come to the calculation part, observing the experiment, S1 is at exactly opposite to this radiation. S2 is connected to the electrical circuit. If the thermal energy in the S1 is equals to thermal energy at S2, then only it is balanced. Then the galvanometer shows non-deflection in this case. For that purpose, initially we are taking the electrical energy. So the electrical energy is nothing but the electrical power. Electrical power is equals to V into I in S2. That why we are taking V into I? Because electrical power is equals to voltage into current. That electrical power is applied to S2 here. Therefore, in the case of S2 strip, that is nothing but P is equals to V into I. In this case, E is equals to, or E is proportional to A into E. So here A is area and E is thermal energy, and small a is the absorption coefficient of this strip. And that means when the solar energy is incident on the surface of S1 of area capital A, it absorbs the energy with the energy coefficient small a. So the total energy observed by this S1 is E is proportional to A into capital A. So if you eliminate this proportionality mathematically, you have to multiply with a constant. That constant is S. Therefore, the thermal energy observed by this S1 plate is E is equals to S into A into A. S is solar constant, capital A is area of the S1 plate, small a is absorption coefficient. Similarly, already we discussed in S2, S2 is equals to energy P is equals to VI. Therefore, here rate of energy is equals to E, here P. So, equating those two equations, E is equals to P. From that, we substitute the value S into A into small a is equals to VI. S is equals to VI by A into A. V is voltage, I is current, A is area, and small a represents the coefficient of absorption. From that we can write the mathematical equation for S value. This is the arrangement of the experiment. So here estimation of solar constant. So observe the value of the solar constant is already defined. S and S0 both are solar constants here, but observed value of the solar constant is represented with S0, and the actual value of the solar constant is S. Now the relation between this observed and the real values is given by S is equals to S0 A into sec Z. Already discussed. S is actual solar constant, S0 is observed solar constant, A is the coefficient of absorption, Z is known as zenith length. This is also known as angular altitude of the sun, because angular altitude of the sun means, so altitude means height. When the sun is exactly in the mid position in the afternoon session, in the evenings and in the mornings the altitude is changing from mid position with respect to certain angle. So therefore here Z is beneath distance, or is also known as angular altitude of the sun. So similarly, the coefficient of absorption varies with 0.55 to 0.85 throughout the year. So with this mathematical experiment, we are calculating or estimating the solar constant. Here, if you apply the logarithm to S is equal to S naught A sec z, that can be written as log S is equals to log of S naught plus sec z into log A. So next, if you take the graphical representation for this one, by taking sec z means sec of angular heights versus actual log values of S on y-axis. If you plot a graph, the graph is in the form of a straight line which forms an intercept on y-axis. So the distance between these 2 points represents log S naught. Then this value is log S naught value is observed by the observer only. From this experiment, the most labeled values of S naught lies between 1.9 and 2.6 calories per square centimeter per minute. This is a mathematical value. So that means mathematically this is the fact from the experiment we are taking here. Actually, S is equal to formula, mathematical formula to solve the problem. S is equals to Vi by A into A. V is nothing but voltage applied to bring the deflection of the galvanometer needle in the experiment, and I, the current passing through the electrical circuit to strip when it is equating to null deflection. And capital A is nothing but area of the first strip which is exactly faced toward the sun, and the absorption coefficient, as already we discussed the value of absorption coefficient, the value is varying from 0.55 to 0.85. This is the value. So by substituting all these values, we are substituting the value. We are obtaining the value of solar constant mathematically, but the practical value never coincides with the observed values. So therefore we are plotting the graph between S and Z. We are obtaining the value of observed value from the graph. The observed value is varying from 0 up to the height at which the straight line intersect on y-axis. That distance give the observed solar constant values. This is the estimation of measurement of solar constants. Thank you all.